Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Money Agenda. And it is Solskjaer, job is safe. The Glazers have back Solskjaer. Yes, everyone, and welcome to the Man United Agenda. And it is Solo 7, as always, OMONDI, TalkMU, Mr. B, and welcome back, Jay.
How are we doing, guys? You good?
Good.
Kind of.
Ish.
Are we going to pretend?
Yeah, I'm pretending, mate. I'll tell you.
We're pretending. Guys, if you're watching, please like, please share, please subscribe to the Money Agenda. We're on the road to 1K subscribers. The minute we hit the 1K subscribers, we'll be giving you a signed Bruno Fernandes football shirt. All you need to do is hit that subscribe button. So, guys, how are we all feeling after the news broke today? Before I go into the question, how are we feeling? Let's start with Jay. How are you feeling, Jay, after the news broke today?
Is it? I mean, it's weird, isn't it? When you talk about news breaking means usually that something's happening. Like I was a journalist for 10 years, and I've never really had the news that's broke. Nothing's happening. What? Which is the news that was today is nothing is happening. Like that's the news. Like nothing's changing. No one's going anywhere. Everything is the same as it was yesterday. That is the news, and it was weird because I think we were all, well, I can't speak for everyone, certainly I was, and a lot of the people I spoke to were expecting the news to be that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had lost his job. Last night it looked like Antonio Conte was moving to the forefront. Obviously he'd had a few whispers with journalists that he knew saying he was open to the idea to come into Manchester United, and it was beginning to gather momentum that, you know, I personally had the same feeling I had when it was Van Gaal and Mourinho. That dynamic of Van Gaal was under pressure. Mourinho whispers were starting, and obviously that happened just after the FA Cup final. Literally, I think in the dressing room after the FA Cup final. But yeah, this morning it all changed. I seen Laurie Whitwell in the Athletic. I know Laurie, good journalist. He did a piece saying that Ollie wasn't going. Andy Mitten, another journalist that I know, a reliable journalist, was on Sky. He said he's not going anywhere. And when those two people say that, I listen to him, and you know, as it stands, and I have to keep saying as it stands. It looks like Ole Gunnar. I can't even get his name. I can't even get my words out. I'm spoken that much about him. You think I've been able to say about thinking? What's wrong with it? Apologies.
More lip still.
Yeah, man. Ole's job for now is safe. That's how it looks. The big question there is that for now is doing a lot of heavy lifting, isn't it?
Yeah, and it is. It is doing. So let's go into the some questions here. I've got Jay. Looking at this sort of current situation at United, with sort of like the motivation of the board and the continuation with Ole as a manager, where do you see this actually going? Do you think, due to players coming out and criticizing Ole, do you believe this is going to be sustainable for us, especially Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as a manager, when players criticizing him?
That is always a sort of a telltale sign that you're on your way out, really, isn't it? When players start doing that, and I think we've had Romano mentioning that, is it Van der Beek and Pogba don't want to play under him, or you know, are unhappy. That's a worry, obviously, because, or if you're Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because they're obviously feeling confident enough to say that about the manager, because they don't feel the manager's going to be there. They don't think players don't usually say that about a manager whose job is secure, because you're going against the guy that's going to pick you. If you're saying that, you must have an inkling or confidence that he isn't going to be there very long. So when that happens, it is a worry. We've heard reports that Sir Alex Ferguson has been down at the training ground. again, normally you'd think that's a positive, but that to me sounds like a bit almost like I don't want to say negative. I hate using the word negative around Sir Alex Ferguson, but why has he had to go down there and speak to the players? Why is he down there? That is the case. And I just feel like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he just feels like he's on borrowed time. I look at the fixtures that we've got coming up. We've got Spurs, obviously, at the weekend. I know you guys are going to be there. We've got Atalanta. We've got City. Then we've got, I can't remember, is it Watford or someone who, again, have just won 5-2. Then we've got Chelsea and Arsenal. All tough games. Then we've got a run that's relatively easy. I know you can argue that, we've had easy runs and not really done anything with them. But my point is that the board's thinking that if they bring a manager in now, are you bringing in a manager whose first game is going to be Spurs away and then he's got the derby? That's a big ask because he could lose both those games and he's off to a losing start. So is that the thinking? Let's Ollie get us through these tough games. I'm not so sure. I just want to say one thing as well. Sorry. Someone in the chat has just said, rest in peace, Walter Smith, who passed away today. I just wanted to say that before I moved on because, for those who don't know, Walter Smith, obviously, he's a loss to football, but he was at United only for a few months as assistant manager to Fergie. And this just goes to show how things have changed. That season in 2004, we only won the FA Cup and finished third, and it was seen like a disappointing season. Whereas now, if you said to me, we're only going to win the FA Cup and finish third, I'd bite your hand off. So, thoughts of his family, and that just shows the different standards that we've got now at Manchester United as well. Yeah,
100%, 100%. OMONDI, same question for you as well.
Well, put it this way, I think the boards should start looking at candidates for the job because, and I think they have already, Ollie should be feeling it right now because so much pressure. I mean, I realised by going to the stadium and seeing how big Manchester United really are, it's only when you're around it, you realise how huge the club is. And we're stuck in London a lot of the time. We love the club, but going up there, the journey and everything else, the whole experience is still, I can't stop thinking about it.
It's only got you go to the stadium and realise how big you are.
I'm like a beacon.
I thought you were like 5'10". I thought you were like my height. You're a giant.
but true say, I mean, it's a crucial times, man. Crucial times for Ollie right now. I thought he was a goner. I really did. After that, I mean, how can you lose like that? It's not the way. It's like the way you lose as well. I think that's the thing. Watching the game, I'm thinking, nah, man, you can't go out like that. This is to Liverpool, and as good as Liverpool are, we should still be battling them on a level where we're saying, oh God, we put in a good fight, or we tried our best, and that's not the feeling we got when we were outside the stadium at the end. All the fans were really disappointed, and I've never seen anything like that before. It was like disaster, and that's why I felt the board needs to start looking at alternatives for him. And even if he stayed, he might have got a vote of confidence today, but I still think it's just a matter of time now because, like we say, we're going to Tottenham this weekend, and if that's a bad result, they probably got the phone call ready on speed dial, say, right, come on, it's your time to come true. It has to be like that.
Talk again. Can this continue really and truly looking deeper in all the results we've had over the last, say, 3 games, and especially how many goals we've conceded?
No, listen. The players are flat on the floor at the moment with no confidence whatsoever. No confidence in Ole, no confidence in his tactics. And is he strong enough to pick these players up? No, I don't think he is. But what I think we're seeing here is evidence of a kind of learning from mistakes in terms of the board in the way they sack managers. I think this is their way of saying to Ole, you're going to go out and we're going to give you the opportunity to go out on a high here whilst we work in the background to look at replacements. We're not just going to do it because it would be. I would be devastated if they would have just sacked Ole by a text or something, and it would just like that, like it has been done in the past. I don't want to see that with Ole because I love Ole to bits. I really do. He gave me the greatest night of my life in terms of Manchester United. So I want to see him. I want to see him go with some kind of decorum and some kind of respect around what he's done for the club. Because there's a lot of positives about what he's done for the club. So I think there's a bit of that going on here as well at play. The respect for Ole, learning from mistakes, but in the background working to, whether it be Conte, I don't know if that's a good match. That's another question, isn't it? You know what I mean? But I just think that's where we are. But in terms of Ole, yeah, it's exceptionally difficult. I don't think he's just strong enough to pick these players up, to be honest.
And Mr. B, the consent as well, what we got being at the game on Sunday, your expression says it all because you're always Ole. You're Ole in. And your expression, seriously, on Monday, I chased him outside to make sure he's all right.
Look, at halftime, I went for a little walk. I must admit.
A power walk.
Yeah, it was a power walk.
Towards the river.
I just wasn't feeling it. And the players, everybody's saying the board has backed Ollie. If the players don't back Ollie, he's got no chance. If half the team, we're saying it's senior players, I don't know what classifies as a senior player. Is it a player who is older than 35? Is it a player who's older than 25? Is it a player who's played 100 games for United? Nobody knows, but what we do know is that half of that squad don't want Ollie there. Now, if he has to pick those players to play the next 3 games, which the board have given him, I don't think he's got a hope in hell, because half of them, for them to have already spoken, these rumours are coming out, you know, players are unhappy with tactics, blah, blah, blah. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. My personal opinion, yeah.
Can I ask you something? Do you think there's a possibility if Ollie actually speaks to the players and asks them, what do you want? What do you want as players? You know, speak to the players and try and find out what it is. Because listen, I know there's been rumours about them not being happy about like players not being picked and selected and started. Donny van de Beek, Pogba at times and things like that. So if Ollie's going to have any chance of sort of going out on any high note, he needs to communicate with the players. And we all know Sir Alex Ferguson's buzzword is communication. And if that has been lacking in all of this, maybe now is a good time for him to start doing that before he does leave.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's be honest. If the whole of his management time he's been there, he hasn't spoken to the players, for him to suddenly decide, okay, I'm under pressure now, I'm going to talk to the players and ask them what I want, they're going to be telling him to get stuffed. When you've lost respect for somebody, regardless whether it's a manager at a workplace, a brethren, sometimes even your girlfriend, you're in a relationship or whatever, it's not the same. And if you decide in your head that you're going to go, guess what? You're going. Now, if they decide...
Mr. B, this isn't the platform for you to be giving out secret messages to your girlfriend. You've got to ring her and tell her, bro. You can't be saying... If you know, you just got to tell your girlfriend, but you don't know how to word it to her.
Oh, dear.
This isn't the place to do that.
Do like the board and give her a page for it first. You know? Do like the board, man.
Oh, quality.
I need to get her to send a message in there to say that everything's all right.
Yeah. We didn't go Manchester for the weekend.
Mate. You're digging him a big hole.
I'm sorry, Mr. B. I'm sorry, Mr. B.
Mr. B's in the thing your doghouse now.
Hey, on a real, I agree with Mr. B saying, once you lose respect for someone, it's like their voice becomes annoying, you know? It's like,
do you know what?
Come on,
you know? I get you, and Mr. B will get you and talk what I'm saying, but I don't think Ollie can go to players and say, what do you want? I think we need less of that. I think we need him to go to the players and tell us, this is what you're doing.
Exactly.
Because I'm watching 11 lads the other day that look like they met that morning. They look like they'd never met each other, never played football together before. There was no cohesion. There was no organisation. There was no communication, as we've mentioned there. I see players making basic mistakes. No one telling them off. No one chatting to them.
Yeah.
No one saying, get over to your man. You push out. Why is Greenwood doing a press and the other 10 aren't? Why is Ronaldo doing all this business? Do you know what I mean? And you've seen the viral clip of him going like this. It's embarrassing. The manager we need a strong manager, whether that's Ollie or someone else, to say, listen, this is what you're doing. I guarantee you now, Alex Ferguson wouldn't have gone in after a defeat against Liverpool and gone, what do you think we should do? What would you like this team to do? I know for a fact, because I spoke to players that were there during that era. Do you know what Alex Ferguson used to do when we lost to Liverpool? And Brian McClare told me this. He used to get everyone in the canteen, and go berserk at him. And you know when I say everyone, you know what I mean? The reception staff, the caterers, the cleaning staff, the groundsmen. He'd get the entire staff and go berserk and say, it's not good enough. We're at Manchester United. Not just the players and the coaches. Seriously, I'm not even joking. He'd get everyone involved in Manchester United that was at the training ground, put them into a room and go mad because he hated losing to Liverpool. That was the ethos he had, was we keep them and knock them off their perch, and it would get to him a defeat against Liverpool. And that's what we need. We need a strong character who's going to get all these egos, get all these players, and tell them who's boss. Organize them. We can't have a team by committee. What do you think? Where would you like to play? Would you like to start this weekend? We need a strong leadership, and that's what we've not got. I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like you talk, I love the guy, and I've always thought he's got a little bit of an edge to him that people don't rate, but he needs to show that now because I'm seeing, and I don't like using this word of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I don't, but it seems like weak leadership. It seems like the players are not, it's like the lunatics are running the asylum. Can't have this. We've got to crack down and get a grip of this now.
Sorry, Jay. He had an interview a couple last
That's my friend,
season.
by the way, in the chat there, Jay in the Mountains. He's a good friend.
Hello, Jay. Big up,
Jay.
Big up, Jay. Welcome to the Man Agenda. He said something, quote something, and it was worrying, and it showed there was lack of leadership last season when he said that Bruno Fernandes picks himself. And it just shows the lack of leadership he has when it comes to certain players. And some players he can sit there and he can pull aside your Donny van der Beek, probably even your Pogba, probably not really saying too much. But when it comes to Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldo, he's not going to ever be able to drop Ronaldo now. He will never drop Ronaldo because Ronaldo will kick off because he's not a strong manager. And like I say, Conte will be one. Zidane will be another one for me as well, where he doesn't care. Zidane will just come and rip up the script, what they've got now, and say, you're playing, you're not playing, and that's it. Sit on the bench, and when I'm ready, I'll tell you to play.
Yeah, I agree. They're big characters. I think there's two different things there. From what we hear from Conte, from the briefings he's given to certain journalists, is that he's up for the job. He's open to the job. Zidane is a bit of an unknown entity, innit? We've not really heard anything from him, anyone who knows him. Does he want to come to Manchester United in the middle of a season and try and rescue us? Does anyone know that? If they do, I've yet to hear a credible journalist. And when I say credible, I mean not, Martial _459788321 with 4 followers going, don't tell anyone, but I've just heard that Zidane's in Eccles buying some papers. Do you know what I mean? I mean someone who's actually credible that we can rely on saying, yes, Zinedine Zidane wants to come to Manchester United. I don't know.
The rumours are that he's more interested in the France job than the Paris Saint-Germain.
There you go.
So
there you go.
Do we even want him in the first place?
Yeah. Does he? What I mean? Is he gonna? I mean, the way I look at it now, I mean, this is just my opinion as well. You know me, guys. You know me better than anyone. I'm not like ITK. I know I speak to a few people, but if I speak to someone, I'll tell you who I've spoken to. My feeling is it might need, for the moment, a short-term fix. We always look to the 6-year contract of David Moyes, the 4-year deal, whatever Louis van Gaal was offered, the 5-year deal, whatever we give Mourinho, and the extension, the 4-year deal we give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the extension. It might need someone like Gus Hiddink at Chelsea or even Tuchel coming in for 6 months and just sorting this mess out now, getting us into the Champions League this season, and then in the summer, you sort out your manager. You go, okay, let's go for a longer-term option. At the minute, listen, I would love this to turn around under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'd love us to win the next 20 games and this all to be, we look back and laugh at it. But I don't think that'll happen. And I think if it doesn't happen, and if we are going to change the manager and we can't get the perfect candidate or whatever, and we're not too, sure is Conte the long-term option or whatever, then maybe look at Conte to the end of the season and you say, come in and just get us into the Champions League, get us challenging in the Champions. We're still in the Champions League, go for that. Maybe you do that, and then in the summer you go, okay, who is the long-term option? I know that might put a lot of people off because we did this with Mourinho. We had a caretaker manager, and he ended up. He earned the right to be the full-time manager with that run we went on as when he was caretaker. But it might just need a short-term option because the worrying thing at the minute, we're in October and the season's in danger of unraveling. Yeah. I thought we'd be sat here now talking about title challenges and can we do something in Europe, and it's already like, can we make top 4? And we're only, 9 games in? Something needs to change quickly.
I don't think, would Conte be that, would he be open for that though, coming in just to the end of the season?
Mate, the thing with Conte though is, whether he likes it or not, he usually only does 2 years at a club. He did 2 years at Chelsea, did 2 years at Inter. I know he did a little bit longer at Juve. And he usually quite a short-term guy, really, when you scratch beneath the surface. So you're right, he might want a 5-year deal. But if you can just be honest with him and say, listen, what we need right now is someone to come in short term. I hate using the Chelsea model because it's not always a good example. But Chelsea have done it in times where they've got Gus Hiddink and he's come in and he's won him an FA Cup, in 6 months and left. Even Rafa Benitez came in, won in the Europa League and left in the summer. I'm not saying that is necessarily the best model. Tuchel came in and obviously won the Champions League, and he's a bit more, he's only on an 18-month deal. So it's not like he's a 5-year plan guy. He's just brought in short term. He's just had quick success.
I think he would be a good fit, like even till the end of the season, because we need a short, sharp shock to snap us back into looking like, because at the moment we're looking in the wrong direction, and we all know our direction is we win and we battle hard. That's what we're about. So if we get somebody to just snap us back around to that way of thinking and go, look, wait a minute, this is where you need to be going in this direction. And I think this is going to come down, for me, I don't know if you agree, Jay, but this is going to come down to money with Conte. If you're going to entice him in here to the end of the season, it's going to come to about, it's going to be money in it. They're going to have to put a lot of bucks on the table to get him to come and do that, I believe. So ambition again now, when we come to talk about the Glazers, what is your ambition? If you want to spend big bucks and get a guy who is going to, like 99.9% good chance that he's going to snap us back into that direction we need to be going in, then you're going to have to pay for it. If not, and you don't want to do that, then we're going to be struggling.
Yeah, sorry, Talk. You got I was just going to sit there and I've got that. But before I go into the next question, if you like, please please share, please subscribe to the Minute Agenda. And next question was going to be, how does the board ensure we get the next appointment right, Jay? Sorry, Jay. Sorry, Jay. So Mystic Meg now for you.
How does the board ensure? Well, did they often get it right? Have they got it right since Sir Alex? To be honest with you, I mean, you could argue Mourinho had obviously success, Van Gaal had success in trophies. Ole, I don't want to be too harsh on Ole, right? Because I've seen people saying he's the worst manager ever and all this. Let's not forget, excuse me. Ole came in, the club was a mess. It's in disarray, He finished in his first full season, we finished third. In his second full season, we finished second. And when you look at the clubs around us and some of the money they've got and the managers they've got, that's no mean feat. We shouldn't just dismiss that. No matter what happens with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we have to give him credit for those 2 full seasons, because I think finishing third and second, whilst it's not, amazing, we finished third, what do you do? Well, let's have a parade. It's still credible. It's still, you deserve a little bit of credit for that, because you got us into the Champions League and then you did it again back to back. No one's done that since Sir Alex Ferguson. So I don't want to be too dismissive of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But in terms of the board making the right decision, part of my problem with the board is I think the board had this theory that they were going to join this European Super League. That was their thing. And they were going to have a manager in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that all the fans loved. And it didn't really matter if we finished 10th or we finished first. We were still going to be in this European Super League. So it was almost inconsequential what went down in the league. That was their plan. And now that plan's gone out the window. And now the manager's not doing well. They've got to come up with another plan, a whole other plan. And you've also got the added element, if you can call it that, of Ed Woodward is due to leave as well. Now, I felt like having a parade when I heard that idiot was going. But who's coming in? Richard Arnold? Is he going to be much better? Does that make any difference? But it is a change. It's another change that they've got to deal with, and it's got to, we've got to see. We've seen Darren Fletcher and John Murtagh coming in as director of football and technical director. What are their roles? It just seems, my point is, a mess. So when people say, how do we get the board to do the right decision? My answer is they haven't been shown themselves capable of making the right decision. So I don't know, honestly. Hope, pray. That's the only thing I can think of, because this board so far has shown nothing but incompetence. And I'll just end on this. You look at it, pains me to say it. You look at City, you look at Sergei Bigot-Stan, you look at Liverpool. There's a strategy there. They know. City brought in Raheem Sterling, Kevin De Bruyne before Guardiola got there, because they knew Guardiola was coming. Liverpool had the target of players like Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk. Almost before Klopp was there, they had a strategy. They knew how he was going to play. They knew the players he'd want. They have a director of football or a CEO or whatever who works with the manager, gets the players he wants to fit his style. We've never done that, United. We've just brought in players that David Moyes wanted Fellaini. Mourinho wanted Lukaku. He wanted Matic. Mourinho wanted Mkhitaryan. Ole comes in. Ole wanted, he wanted to get rid of Sanchez. That was a previous signing. He wanted to get rid of Fellaini. He didn't really rate Lukaku. He wanted to bring in his own players. So you bring in like the likes of Bruno Fernandes, you're bringing in the likes of Jadon Sancho, you bring in all these new players in, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, complete revamps all the time. And this is what's probably going to happen now. Another manager will come in and go, I don't rate Harry Maguire. I don't want Jadon Sancho. Bruno Fernandes isn't my man. My man's Paul Pogba or whatever. I want to bring in this player. I want to sign this player. You've got to get out of that cycle with a clear strategy so that when your manager does change, like it did at City, when Pellegrini left in the Klopp, I keep saying Klopp, when Pellegrini left and Guardiola came in, the transition was relatively smooth because there was a structure in place. There hasn't been that at United since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. And I don't know if there's going to be.
You know, we've got too many branches on our tree. There's too many branches on our tree. That's what it is. You know, the spine of the club is the trunk. And we've got loads of like branches with twigs and like loads of crazy things going on. We don't even need to be. They don't need all these crazy positions at the club. Like you say, Jay, quite clearly there. It's got to be simplified. You know, clear vision and simplify it and get half of these. I mean, what really got me and all is that when we're talking about the guys coming in the set piece specialist. It's like, wait a minute, what are you on about a set piece specialist? Are you crazy? What's the coaches doing then? Right, I'm going for the brew, mate. If you want to go down there and show them how to stop a corner, I'm going to go and have a brew. Get a grip, man. It don't work. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
We have a set piece specialist, right? We get set pieces, corners, and Everton score.
Yeah. And then they go and get beat 5. What was it? 5-2.
Yeah.
By
Watford. Like, what is going on? It's always, you know, if I was, I know that. Is it? I can't remember her name. Is it Gemma you have on your channel?
Yeah.
I see her reveling in it and tweeting loads of stuff. She's a Liverpool fan. I don't blame her. If I was a Liverpool fan now or a City fan, I'll be laughing my head off at United about everything about United at the minute. It's all a mess and embarrassing and comical. It's not as a United fan. It's tragic. But everything, you know, we brought in a set piece specialist. We keep conceding some set pieces and we barely ever score from them. You know, we brought in a director of football. We've got no direction. Do you know what I mean? We brought in Jadon Sancho. We don't play him. What is going on? We brought in Ronaldo, you know, and he stood there going like this as the team gets beat 5-0 off Liverpool. And that's not a dig at him.
Kung fu fighting.
You know what I mean? It's just awful. And our rivals must be absolutely buzzing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And they are. I switched my
phone off.
Just to say, I switched my phone off because I was getting it terrorized. Most of my friends are Liverpool fans, and I couldn't hack it.
You need to get new friends then. Come on.
I do need new friends. Literally, Facebook, Instagram, everything.
I have a one in, one out policy with Liverpool fans. I've got one Liverpool fan who's a friend. and if I have another Liverpool fan as a friend, I have to get rid of that one.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, man. One in, one out. You can only have one.
Oh God! But it's like what you're saying about the direction, though, because obviously from top to bottom, it seems like there's no direction. There's no direction from the owners, from the directors. There is nothing on the football pitch. It's all over the place. It's damning. As Manchester United, they're meant to be the biggest football club in world football, when you can't sort nothing on the pitch, and it's almost like for each position on at Man United right now, especially the coaches and things like that, it's like almost 2 or 3 coaches per position. So it's almost like I'm telling Mr. B what to do, then Mr. B is sitting there, and it's by the time it gets back to the players, it's probably like almost like Chinese whisper. Oh, he said just stand there, don't move.
Hold on. Yeah, but the thing is, with all these coaches and things, the manager who's supposed to set what he wants, the direction he wants to all the coaches, and they feed back to him and say, all right, boss, we're going to implement your strategy. But this is the thing, every interview, every time I see Ollie, I don't see any kind of strategy from him or any kind of tactical nous. Every interview I've seen post-match when we lose, he doesn't say anything. Where did it go wrong? Oh, we need to try harder. Or I don't know. He's actually asking reporters, what do you think? In that, like you were saying earlier, it's not good enough. And I think as Man United, the big club we are, we need to plan going forward. I don't want to make a rash decision and say, oh, just get this guy out from one bad result. We should have a plan. We should have a backup plan and say, all right, in case of emergency, bam, we hit glass and we got these guys as options. I don't like the options that we have. Zidane, I'm sure of. He had a great side at Real Madrid. He won 3 and thought, oh my God, this is falling apart. I can't renew this side. Look at Alex Ferguson. He was able to transition and renew certain, like, in the different areas of sides. He had 3 or 4 different areas of sides that he could sort of bring in and start all over again. You know, so I'm not sure about Zidane. I'm not sure about Conte. He plays a 3-5-2. He's a bit too ragged and thing. He's a winner, give him that. But like he's saying there, he doesn't stay for too long. We want someone long term. This is what we do at Man United, who's going to tick all the boxes for us going forward. You know, and that's the most important thing. And that, sorry, one more thing, and that includes bringing youths in, because we've always been renowned for bringing youth players in. So Louis van Gaal done really well bringing Rashford in. I didn't even know Rashford too well. I was looking at other players and like Angel Gomez. I thought they were going to be the stars of the future. But Rashford's come in and he's been sensational. So we need someone who's going to stick with our philosophy of playing youths, and then I'm happy and being there long term.
On that, this is what they need to do as well, is they need to get the blueprint out for Manchester United and remind themselves of what that is. Because like we've just been talking about, we are in danger of rewriting that blueprint without us even knowing it, walking blindly into the woods. And you do that, you get lost. At the moment, I think we're still in a position where if the right decisions are made, we can quickly turn this around quickly. But like I say, the sharp shot, Conte, big money, but they need to get it done and get it done. Give him, if they're going to let Oli bow with some kind of grace in these 3 games, I just hope and pray that in the background they are at this moment trying to sort this out with Conte, so that after the international break, wallop, bang, get it sorted.
Yeah. And listen, guys, not the longest show. We are going to cut it there. We would go through a lot of comments, but I think Jay's got to go and do some.
Whoa! Talk about throwing me under the bus. That diva that is Jay Motti comes on here and he's got to go, so we're not going to read your comments out because of Jay, and Jay can't be bothered and he's got better things to do. You know what I mean?
Jay.
I've not seen anyone throwing anyone under the bus like I did it since I did it to Mr. B. Is that all going on? We're United dressing everyone here. We're all throwing each other under the bus.
For that, we get through some comments, then we'll take it back.
Go on, I'll wait for the comments. Don't be like.
You know what? No, there's too many, but they'll be coming up on screen, and I'll be thinking, I'll be nodding, agreeing with a lot of them. But there's still a lot of bad feeling, you know. And there's not many positive comments about Oli.
No, there isn't.
This is the part that is sort of worrying me. The fact that everybody knows it's 3 games. I mean, you're right. I've been going through the messages that we've had up, and the only people who are saying Oli in is Anthony Herbert, and I know already that he's an Arsenal fan.
I know it's about me, mate.
Everybody else on here is Oli out. I keep saying it, I'll say it again. I don't care who runs our club. I just want us to bloody win. If it's Oli, let it be Oli. What I was going to say, though, we talk about maybe, just maybe, the structure's been set in, so the next manager, I'm thinking, okay, this is Mr. B's brain at the moment, yeah? Conte wants all of this money and he wants to bring in all of these players. So the club have said, no, we're going to get a player, we're going to get a manager who wants to play to our philosophy. I'm just going to leave it like that.
Oh, fair enough. And that's silent. So, Jay, where can we find you? Even though I just threw under the bus. I just threw Jay right underneath the bus. Where can we find you, Jay?
You can find me at Old Trafford, hid behind a Monday when it all kicks off. Yeah? He's such a good guy. When I met him, I couldn't believe it. I thought, if it kicks off here, I'm standing next to him. Listen, I say this every time, Money. You know where to find me on Stretford Paddock, but don't worry about that. Check out these guys. Make sure you subscribe to United Agenda. You've heard it tonight. Level-headed chat, passionate United fans. That's why I like coming on here, because regardless of whether things are going well or badly, you're not chatting just nonsense and coming out with just lunacy or disrespecting people. There's a good sort of discussion going on, and I like the way you guys have grown as a channel. And it was great to see you at Old Trafford, and you was there at the end as well. You wasn't sort of kicking off or spitting your dummies out. You was there, you was chatting to people, you was getting young fans on your channel, which is always good to see. So big up yourselves, man. You're doing a great job, and we need, more content, more people like you getting it out there and having those discussions. Like, you can criticize the manager and question what's going on. By all means, we should do that, but we don't need to be silly with it and threatening people and all that, some of the other nonsense that you see on social media and stuff. So, just make sure anyone who's watching me, who's a fan of Stretford Paddock, make sure you're subscribing to the Man United Agenda.
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. And Jay?
Yeah.
You know what? When I saw you, I thought I'm taking a picture to say to Jay where I am, and all of a sudden I turned around and I'm seeing this person standing behind me going.
I tried to photobomb him. I thought he was doing a selfie, and I was gonna like do my little photobombing thing, which I always do. I hang around the Trinity statue, photobombing people. That's what I do. I'll tell you what, I wish I'd have stayed there for the game.
You know what took me back by Jay, meeting Jay in person. He's so brown, like bronzed. You know, I don't know if it's sunbed. There's no sun in Manchester. Magnificent complexion.
Jay, let me tell you this. Right, I was speaking to him Monday, right, when I was on the way back, and he was saying, "I'm effing freezing. It's so cold in Manchester. It's so damp." I was like, "Yeah, welcome to Manchester, mate."
That was barbecue weather. That what's the matter with you?
Yeah.
Talk on a barbecue later on that night.
Guys, thank you all for watching, liking, sharing. Hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 1K subscriber. And remember, guys, we really appreciate all the comments tonight. And without you, we wouldn't be a channel. We really appreciate all the support. And as always, Jay, appreciate it. And thanks for watching, guys, and have a lovely evening. Good night from the Man United Agenda.